What's up? Welcome back to Bookmas Day 2. I cannot even believe that I'm saying that right now. It's so exciting doing this for the first time ever. I just want to say I was so heavily inspired and influenced by all of the book girlies on YouTube. I don't know what I would have done without them and their inspiration. I'm very excited. I hope you guys enjoy this Bookmas. I am already having a blast filming it. I'm going a little bit crazy, but in the best way. I'm going to be sharing with you guys all of the books that I read in November. I will say, November was a lighter month for me. I started pre-filming for Bookmas mid-November, so I barely got to read, and I also started reading 3 books at the same time, and I only ended up finishing one of those out of the 3. The other 2 I'm still reading, and it's the end of November, so I doubt I'll be able to get them done before November's over. So most of my time towards the end of the month was focused on lots of filming, lots of editing. I really had a goal this month. I wanted to read a lot of the books that I pulled from the TBR jar video for November, and unfortunately I didn't get as many done as I wanted to, but I really did make that a priority this month, which I kind of did, but I just haven't finished them all yet. This was a really good reading month, not in numbers as much as just the quality of the book. Like, I had some solid high star ratings this month. First one that I want to talk about is Dark Freaking Matter. If you did not see, Ian and I did a book swap, and Ian gave me this book and 2 other books in that video. To get my full in-depth review of this book in reaction, you definitely should go over there and watch that video. To be brief, this book was crazy. So this is a thriller. Oh my gosh, this was different from any other thriller I've ever read. Basically, the main character, his name's Jason, and the last thing he hears before he's kidnapped is, "Are you happy with your life?" And the next thing he knows, he wakes up in an unfamiliar place on a gurney, and this man that he's never met before says, "Welcome back, my friend." And once he really wakes up, he realizes his life is not the life that he knows. His wife, he's no longer married to, never was married to. His son doesn't have one anymore. All of this stuff has changed, and he's trying to get back his old life. He's trying to figure out what happened, why he doesn't remember the life he's waking up in after being kidnapped. Yeah, basically the point, can Jason make it back to the family that he knows and loves? And if so, how? It is such a ride, so crazy. I'm telling you guys, it is so fast-paced, action-packed. Like, it just felt like something was constantly happening every single page. It was really good. Although there are some elements of this book that were new to me, like I had to learn what dark matter, for instance, is. Basically just learn the whole theory of dark matter. It wasn't an info dump. It was a 5-star read for me. I feel so good saying that. The next one I want to talk about, while we are here, let's go on to another high-rated book, The Storied Life of AJ Fikry. This one was a wild card for me. This is another book that Ian picked out for me, and I will say, I did not think it would get as high of a rating that it did. This is by Gabrielle Zevin. She wrote Tomorrow 3 times. Tomorrow. I've never read that book before, but I've seen mixed reviews on it. But I have heard overall that she is an amazing author. Her prose is beautiful, and so this was really my first taste, and I can second that. This book is too short. That was my one thing about it. It's way too short. Basically, it's about this gentleman named AJ Fikry. He has lost his wife, and his bookstore is experiencing the lowest sales in history. And just to add on top of all of that, he has this rare collection of Edgar Allan Poe poems, and they get stolen. So it's just like one thing after another until one day he walks into his bookstore and there's a mysterious package waiting in one of the aisles, and it completely changes his life. And it is so cool to see the evolution of AJ Fikry. Just his character development is amazing. I think that was my favorite part of the journey, just seeing how much he's changed. It was so beautiful. I mean, for a book being this short, it almost made me tear up at the end. It was emotional, impactful, beautiful, hilarious. One of the funniest books ever, and so quotable. There's so many bookish quotes in here, and if you are a reader, you need to read it. It was so good. And also, this was just a binge-worthy book. It was a page turner. I gave this one 4.5 stars. I know, but it was so good, and I had my whole family watch the movie. I bawled my eyes out. I sobbed. But of course, the book was better. But the movie was really, really good too. Next up, I did it, you guys. I've been telling you guys, I've been wanting to read this book for months and months and months. I drew it for the TBR jar this month, and guess who finally read A Dawn of Onyx? This girl. I'm so glad I did. I'm kicking myself that it took me this long to pick up this book. It's so good, and I'm so heartbroken because I have to wait for the second book to come out, which is torture. It's actually torture. This is a romance fantasy book. I'm not saying this is anything like ACOTAR. Not saying that. But if you are a fan of ACOTAR, I think you would definitely be a fan of A Dawn of Onyx. This book, you guys, was so good. So it was a little bit slower there for a bit for me. This is Kate Golden's debut novel, and while it was written really well, you could tell that like she's starting out. I'm sure the second one's going to be incredible. The writing was a little bit different for me. I think that's kind of why I docked down a few points, and I really like her as an author. I am excited to see where this series goes, where she goes as an author. This book is about the main character, Arwen. She has 2 siblings, a younger sibling and then her brother who is older, and he's fighting in this war. One day her whole world flips upside down. She offers her life for her brother's life because he ends up stealing something from this enemy kingdom. She ends up sacrificing her life, her freedom, for her brother's freedom, and she is taken as a captive in this enemy territory, enemy kingdom, and she has these healing powers. So they're using her healing powers to heal the enemy soldiers that are getting hurt and wounded in this war. Once she is captured by this dark kingdom, she is determined to escape and get back to her family, and the only way to escape is to go through these dark woods which hold terrifying beasts. There's basically no way she can make it through these woods without getting help from the inside. There's slow burn, fae, magic, there's dragons, but like the really cool dragons. The love interest is morally gray, which I love that trope. I don't know why, I just love it. This is also a slow burn. The love interest falls first. So this has a whole bunch of tropes that I love. Please pick this up. I want to know what you guys think. It wasn't a 5-star for me, but I could see it getting there. The spice level, it was a little bit more on the spicy side. I think there are like 2.5 spicy scenes, I think. I heard the second one is going to be extra spicy, which personally I'm really sad about, but hopefully I still really enjoy it and it doesn't take away for me. I think this is a 4-star read. Yeah. Next up, this is another book that was a part of the book swap. It's Malice by John Gwynne. This book is a tome of a book. This one took me a little bit to read. I don't know if you can see how big it is, but it's really big. But this book was so good. It's so hard to describe. You're following multiple POVs, which was really fun because there's so much going on, and this book has a lot of buildup, but the plot is moving on really fast. Like, it doesn't feel like there's really any lulls in the book. Maybe the first 200 pages felt a little bit slow. You actually do feel like the plot is moving on, and you do feel like it's all for something. I was so impressed by John Gwynne. I love his prose. So I was just really impressed by how he could craft such a huge world. Characters had so much depth. Especially by the end of this book, I was so attached to many of the characters, and there weren't any plot twists that really stood out. I don't think that was really the point. You pretty much know who is the antagonist, I feel, from the beginning, or at least through halfway. But all of the characters, I loved them so much. I think his character work is probably my favorite part of the book. I am so excited to hop into the second one because I need to know what happens, especially how the first one ends. Yeah, no, it's a wonder that I'm sleeping at night because that was crazy. Basically, in this book, it's set in the Banished Lands. In the Banished Lands, it has a history of armies of men and giants fighting against each other until the giants just kind of disappear. The fighting has stopped for a while. But there's this prophecy that is starting to come to pass where there are bleeding stones, worms. Some of the people in the Banished Lands believe these prophecies, and then some of the other people don't believe that they are a part of this prophecy. Celtic-inspired epic... Why can't I say this? Malice is a Celtic-inspired epic fantasy. Malice is a Celtic-inspired epic fantasy. This is the first book out of a 4-part series. This book is filled with prophecy, war, love, friendship, really cool battle scenes, like actually really epic battle scenes. Oh, animal companions. This one I actually ended up rating 3.75 stars. Mainly the reason why was because about the first 200 pages were a little bit slow for me. This is just a really thick book, and I don't read books this thick often, but I will continue the Faithful and the Fallen series, especially from some of the comments that I've gotten, people telling me that the series just gets better and better as you keep going. My big thing though was the lack of female point of views. I didn't think I would have that discrepancy going into it. I really did miss that. For instance, Kywin, I just wanted more of her. And towards the end, you did get more Kywin on the page, but I really missed her towards the beginning. And there were still some female characters, of course, but I just wanted like a little bit more. Just a little bit more. Yeah, I'm sorry if that upsets anyone. I'm sorry. The next one I read is Legends and Lattes by Travis Baldry. I actually just finished this book. I read it in like 24 hours. This is about a bounty hunter named Viv. She is finally hanging up her sword for the last time. She's ready to leave that in the past, move forward, start fresh, and move to a new place. So she does, and she opens up this coffee shop. This coffee shop is so cozy and so cute. She is introducing coffee to a lot of people in this area. In this world, coffee was invented by gnomes, and she's bringing it to them. She's starting a coffee shop and introducing these people to coffee for the first time. It's so cute how she describes coffee because she's trying to these people, and they drink tea. So she's like, you drink it similarly to tea, but it has a different taste from tea, and they just make fun jabs at coffee, like how it's brewed, how it's made, all of that, and it's so fun, and I love coffee, so this was really cute to read. And this is actually high fantasy, low stakes. I felt like it would be a little bit redundant, but it actually wasn't really. Because there are people that are coming back from her past that want to hinder her success. And also there are some people that are coming back that want something that she has. It's a cute book. It's a cute read. I wasn't obsessed with it. I think towards the end of it, I was kind of ready for it to be over. I did like the writing. I felt like it was really fast paced. Because this wasn't high stakes, which I've realized I love high stakes, I think I would give it like 3 stars. And for me, a 3-star does not mean that it was a bad book whatsoever. It was just, for me, very different, but it was very cute, very cozy. All 5 of these books are technically all that I read this month, but I did start 2 other books during this time frame as well. I was reading 3 books at the same time, and these 2 I'm still in the middle of. Currently reading Iron Flame. I am a good ways into it, and I actually am really liking it so far. I think I'm liking it a little bit more than Fourth Wing at the moment. And then I'm also reading Night Circus. I'm not super far into Night Circus. I might soft DNF it. I don't have the audiobook, and a lot of people have recommended that I listen to the audiobook. I definitely want to do that because the narrator is Jim Dale, and he does Harry Potter. I love his narrations. He does an amazing job, and so I think I want to soft DNF the Night Circus for now, only because I want to listen to the audiobook because you guys recommended it. It is really good so far, but I'm really not that far in. These are all the books that I read in November. I hope you guys enjoyed. It wasn't that much. This was a shorter wrap up. I look at it as at least I read something this month, and that's all that matters. I love you guys so much. I hope you're enjoying Bookmas so far, although I've only gotten 1 up, but I'm very excited for you guys to see the rest of what I have planned. And please comment down below your favorite book that you read this month. And I will see you tomorrow. Bye guys!